I'm so sad, I want to cry.
One thing we need to do before moving in the coach house is sort the lights because we still have the lights as they were when we did the work. So it means we have just wires hanging down from the ceiling, and they're too high because the ceiling is really high, so we can't really see anything in the evening. So I'm going to put some lower lights that also look a bit nicer than just having wires. There will be 4 lights on this side of the room, and they need to be all the same height, otherwise it will look strange. Then I need to treat the electricity, otherwise it could go horribly wrong. Stuff everywhere. There we go. It's slightly annoying because the pig chewed my screwdriver, and so it's not, the handle isn't as smooth as it used to be. That's quite nice. I'm not sure it's going to be bright enough, but at least it's nicer than hanging wires. So what I'm going to do now is set the height of the other 4 lights so they're straight away at the right height.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you getting on?
Are you coming to inspect the
I am.
the work? Yeah, 3 out of 4 so far. Do you like them? Okay, why don't you give me like both?
One of these. I don't know, I just hadn't envisaged hanging down, ones that hang down in this part of the room. I thought that was just going to be above the table.
Do you want spotlights or?
Well, yeah, maybe even.
Really?
I don't know. I just hadn't thought of big hangy things.
Why don't you treat the switch so you can see what they look like when they're up?
Okay, where's the trip switch?
On the switchboard.
Where's the switchboard? You're so tricky.
You know where it is.
No, I don't. Which side is it in? Is it in this side or that side? Is it this side?
Yeah. Thank you.
Gosh, they're orange.
Ooh, you're annoying. Okay, you can trip it too.
No? You don't think they're a bit orange?
Yeah, they're a warm light. So do I need to put the 4th one, or are you going to make me undo everything?
if you like.
You're annoying.
Yeah, I'm not annoying. You didn't tell me they were orange. Well, we'll live with orange lights for a little while. Let's see what it's like when they're all in.
It will be even more orange. We can put some like this, but I think we need quite big light bulbs.
I agree. They're beautiful light bulbs until you switch them on, that's all.
And we can put some shades around it. And you can turn them off if you're not happy. You can turn them off and you'll plug a wall light on the side so you won't see them. What about that?
It's true that it will make the room very beautifully warm.
When they're off. Why don't you help me move the scaffolding whilst you're here?
Careful. Hey, do you know what else would make
Thank you.
Do you know what else would make it feel really warm in here?
No,
Connecting the heating up.
I don't.
I think that would be really nice.
Okay. I don't need you anymore. Thank you. Thank you for your precious help.
Alright then, bye-bye.
Bye. This is the last bulb. And whatever Amy says, I think they're not too bad. It's true they're a bit orange, but I won't tell Amy. It's quite cold though. Whilst Amy is not here and I have the scaffolding up in this room, I'm going to install these insects. There were metal insects my sister gave me about 15 years ago that I had back in my old flat on the same wooden ceiling. And I really like them. You don't really notice them on the ceiling, but I find it really funny when you actually notice them. One dragonfly. So I'm done with the lights.
Oh. Oh, so beautiful and warm.
Yeah, I find it really warm and cozy.
So beautiful and warm.
And I added some personal touches that you need to find.
Like
decoration-wise.
I can see. There's a giant beetle on the roof. Is there more than one?
Possibly. So you missed one.
Really? What kind of insect is it, the next one? Oh, there, praying mantis. Oh, that's awesome. Where did that come from?
They were a present from my sister about 15 years ago. I used to have them in my flat and on a beam as well.
Oh, there's a dragonfly. How many am I looking for?
One.
Oh, an ant. This is the one where there's a real insect eating the wood.
We need to treat that one.
Oh, they're brilliant. I love them. Especially the giant cockroach.
It's a beetle, not a cockroach.
Oh, brilliant. Well done. Thank you.
You like my
I do. I think they're awesome.
Well, it's nearly 2 weeks later, and I think, fingers crossed, my sample tiles, my test tiles are ready to fire. I finally put them out for a little bit of a last blast in the sunshine today, and we fire overnight because we have cheaper electricity at night. So I'm about to go and put them in the kiln, in the barn, and cross my fingers that I didn't put them in too early. This is all our experimentation. It hasn't changed much, but I'm looking forward to seeing what this looks like when it has glaze, when it is cooked, and then when I put some glaze on it. One of the bits came apart, unfortunately, but it was only a very rough test on that one. We'll still see the colours, which is the most important thing. And the reason I'm putting them in here is because it's quite a long walk in the dark to get over to the barn where the kiln is. In fact, it couldn't be further away from the coach house. You might be wondering why I'm dressed like a school teacher today. It's because we had a meeting at the local primary school for my baby to start school. And I thought it was better to make a nice impression than wearing my plaster-covered overalls, which is what I was wearing when I set off. So yeah, in France, they have to go to school at 3, and he's not quite there yet, but luckily it's an absolutely beautiful, lovely, friendly, wonderful school, and he's going to absolutely love it, and he's just going to start 2 mornings a week soon for the rest of the school year. So yeah, been very busy today. Find my way around the copper bath, the strimmer, the stray metal. So this has to be permanently wired in, which is why it's all the way over here. It's on a special electrical network, I think it's a tri-phase network. Right, I can actually, when you're just bisque firing, you can actually stack them without being on anything, but I got some, in my massive incompetence in the last firing for TV, rushed it and ended up getting glaze on my kiln furniture, and I don't want these to stick, so I'm just going to pop them on little plinths because I've hardly got any to put in. It's not very economical to do it like this, but samples by their very nature are small because you don't want to waste materials. I'm so excited to see how these turn out. Okay. Goodbye, little tiles. Please don't explode. Open the vent. And now I need to program it. Okay, I've set my program. Press start. Hey! And then it will cool, and hopefully I can get them out tomorrow. All right, it's time to see if my tiles have worked. Watch your feet. Okay, it says 43 degrees, so I can actually open it and see what's inside. This is not the result I was hoping for. It looks like the colours have not survived the kiln, apart from maybe 1 or 2, which is very, very disappointing. I'll put them in here and take them into the light and see. This is not what I had hoped though. So, as an experiment into size and shape, this has been excellent. As an experiment about colour, not so excellent. So I did these slip glazes, and this was the tile where I tested each and every colour very, very carefully. And on the underglaze, on the slip, I think you're supposed to colour them with oxides, not with other pigments. But I had some hope because the pigment packets that I had said I could use them in glazes. So what we've got here is 2 browns, a white and a black that worked. Which means that my inlay will have failed massively. But we can still see, well, the graffiti didn't work either, but I do like the definition of the tool that I used there, so not completely lost. And the black seems to be quite nice and seems to last. One other thing, I mean, I'm still going to glaze them and fire them again because I think we'll be able to test the glazes properly. And see how they work with some of the decoration. And I'm also going to test this tile that came to piece, you know, the one that Marc suggested I do. Oh well, so that kind of worked all right. Oh well, this is very disappointing, but I suppose when you're teaching yourself, it's bound to happen. So now I have to kind of forget this as a slip test and maybe use my Stroke and Coat original paints, Potter's Idiot paints, Idiot Potter paints, I don't know, I'm the idiot, not a potter, to do my decoration until I've investigated slips further. I did want to buy them, but we live too far away from the store. Right, time to get Marc to have a look.
How's it going?
Very badly. I don't know if you can spot anything here.
That's a very pretty pastel color.
I'm so sad, I want to cry. The pigments didn't survive the burning.
Mine has faded a bit.
Apart from a few. So the only ones that survived were 12, 13. So that's Ochre Rouge and 19. The Vert Olive looks black vomit colour.
It looks like a black olive.
The last one I did though, that one worked quite well. That was the one I found that's pink anyway. So we're turning this into a trial for overglaze and size. What do you think about the sizes of these for the wall and thickness? You see, that one's ended up extremely thin.
Yeah.
Almost a bit too thin, I think.
Yeah, I think that's more of the right thickness.
Or
and
that.
I like the pattern on this one.
Or that one.
Or we can see, but I think if you want it to be about the same thickness as the wood paneling, you need more something like this.
Okay.
The wood paneling is 12 millimeters.
Yeah.
And you need to allow 2 millimeters for the grouting.
Yeah. And that is?
So that's about 10, 9.
9.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's the right thickness, I think.
9 from 8. So that's interesting. So that started, 1 centimetre thick. They haven't shrunk a lot. What shape do you think is nice? The square or metro?
This
How big?
one.
how big?
I would say
I quite like these small ones actually this time. That kind of size, chunky.
yeah, that's not bad.
So it's not a huge amount of shrinkage, and I'll test again when I've done the glazes.
Well done.
Yeah, right. I'll do some glaze testing and then fire them again and show you the outcome. The one good thing is that this little one, the experiment into doing a multiple one actually was okay.
Yeah, that
really,
works.
kind of. If I can remember which bit goes where.
Oh, it looks good.
No, it doesn't.
It's not very green, but it looks. You can just try with another type of glaze.
All right then, I'll
Well
get on
done.
with it. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to pick myself back up here, and I'm going to do a 2-form glaze test. I'm going to use some of my stroke and coat very quickly to just do some lines as a test, and then see if the the overglazes that I've got, what effect they do over the top of each one. Well, my baby girl woke up, and the first bit of trial is dry. So I've mixed up my 4 powder glazes, and I'm going to do a mixture of these over the stroke and coats so that I can see how they work together when they're fired. And also, the most important thing now is to see how these glazes, different glazes, perform when they are put on something with an impression, like these leaves. So I'll get on with it. At this point you have to be really careful because the glaze, flakes off if you touch it like that. It's not like the slip. This is the kind of crucial stage. When you fire just the clay, it can't really stick to anything. And so you can even stack them up. But once I get to this point, if the glaze touches the kiln furniture, it'll fuse it forever, ruining the kiln furniture and your work. Not that this work matters, but as it's only a trial. Everything has to be balanced. I have proper tile shelves for when I do lots in one go, but these little bits wouldn't fit on it, so. Goodbye, little tiles. Do better this time. Oof. There you go. So that's 7 hours to the top, and then to 600, no, 7 hours to 600, and then about 3.5 hours to 1,000. So we were talking about 10 hours, and it's now about 2 o'clock, so that should be midnight it finishes. And then it'll cool and I'll be able to check it in the morning. You're supposed to wait until it's completely cold before getting them out, but I'm a tiny bit impatient and it won't do any damage to get them out at 87 degrees, except to my hands. Rather than go and get a pair of gloves, I've decided to use my husband, who has Teflon hands, to take them out.
I see.
Hold on. Let me get some light in there.
That's pretty.
Oh. Some interesting results in here.
Looks like conceptual art.
They are only tests, obviously.
Okay, not too hot.
And there's another one layer. You need to take that out carefully without breaking it.
This is a bit hot.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Do you want a piece of cardboard? Rip off a bit of cardboard in each hand, maybe. Hey, is it hotter lower down? Okay. Let's go and have a look at them in the light. Are you okay there? Can you see where you're going? In the night, in the light. So I know this looks like a huge mess, but it's actually a fairly comprehensive testing of all our colours and how they interact with each other and with the tiles. You'll note that your beautiful design is coming out there, even though the slip didn't work. It's going to provide me with so much information about the glazes that we've got available, whether they go on top of the Mako slips, whether they work best on their own. And I've already getting quite a lot of inspiration. I'm really loving the way that some of these glazes interact with the leaf imprints.
That's really pretty.
They've come out much, much better and more defined than I thought they would. And so it's time to sit down, go through my notes for us to discuss colours and see what we think.
Sounds exciting.
I know it was a bit of a disaster in terms of the slips, but I feel like I've recovered a little bit here and come up with some ideas that might be able to move forward.
Good.